So hello, welcome to the next video. Let's do the next example for the whole trading plan. Okay, so as you can see, the structure is the same, just like in the previous example. Price is moving in an extremely bearish trend, creating inefficient movements to the downside, breaking structures to the downside over and over again, respecting supply zones over and over again, breaking through demand zones over and over again. So the structure is still extremely bearish, as you can see. We have these two 4-hour demand zones marked out again, just like in the previous example. So I won't show you that again. So okay, let's map out our structure. As you can see, price is moving in a downtrend, creating a series of lower lows, lower highs, and price is respecting its supply zones over and over again. We had this last supply zone right here. Price reacted on this supply zone after the inefficient push to the downside and the demand tap. So price actually tapped this demand, reversed on this demand zone, and after the tap of this supply zone, it reversed again to the downside and did a break of structure with this movement, with this wick. Because as you may know, break of structure won't be a break of structure if it breaks with a wick. So this wick wasn't a break of structure, it wasn't a demand break, it could have been just a liquidity sweep or anything. So as you can see on the 4-hour chart, price tapped this demand zone first, rejected on it, tapped the supply zone, tapped the demand zone for the second time, rejected on that demand zone again. And after the rejection, this demand zone has been broken, as you can see, with an inefficient push. Let's see which 4-hour supply zone caused the break of this 4-hour demand zone. Because if a zone breaks, an opposite side zone will be automatically formed, as you may know. So as you can see, the inefficient push came into the market from this upside candle. And this upside candle has been not mitigated yet. So this is our right supply zone in this case, because inefficient push came into the market from this candle, break of structure here, liquidity sweep from this region and also from this region. And it actually didn't tap into the next 4-hour demand zone. So we will have this right supply zone. I will just mark out this as a 4-hour supply zone, as you can see. And price actually tapped this zone and had a small rejection on it. Right now, we have to switch to the 15-minute chart and mark out all of the 15-minute zones. Okay, so as you can see, price rejected on this 4-hour supply zone here. And if you take a closer look inside of this 4-hour supply zone, there will be a really, really clear 15-minute supply zone, this one. And price actually tapped this zone also, not just the 4-hour one. As you can see, price exactly tapped this one and reversed on this zone. So this is a really, really strong confirmation for the shorts. So price tapped the 4-hour flip zone, because this 4-hour supply zone flipped the 4-hour demand zone. So this will be a really, really strong zone. If price rejects on this zone, we will know that we will look for a short opportunity and short confirmations. And inside of this 4-hour zone, price tapped the 15-minute supply zone. I will just mark it with this line. Okay. So as you can see, price just tapped this zone, and after the tap of this zone, it immediately reversed and had a really, really strong reversal and inefficient push to the downside. Okay, so right now we are on the 15-minute chart. We have to find all of the supply and demand zones on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see, these areas, these zones are mitigated by the following price action. So this upside price action. So we will have to find for demand zones. Okay, as you can see, here's a demand zone that created huge inefficient push to the upside and changed character. I will just mark it as a demand zone and change the color to blue. So as you can see, here was a downtrend, inefficient push to the downside, downtrend, break of structure here, less break of structure, and this demand zone flipped this supply zone. As you can see, we have this supply zone that created the last low and created the last break of structure to the downside, and this demand zone reacted on this supply zone and flipped it with a huge inefficient push to the upside and liquidity sweep from this region, liquidity sweep from this region, change of character here, change of character here. So this is a really, really strong demand zone, as you can see, and price reacted on this demand zone immediately. And after the reaction, it pushed to the upside and tapped the 4-hour and the 15-minute supply zone that flipped the 4-hour demand zone. Okay, so after this demand zone, we will have another demand zone, which caused the inefficient push to the upside. And this will be the demand zone. As you can see, this is a really, really huge zone. So we will have to refine it on the 5-minute chart. And actually, we have another hidden demand zone. If I just zoom in, you will see that here's an inside bar. As you can see, inefficient push came into the market from these two candles, and this candle closed lower than the last high of the previous candle. So this means this is an inside bar, and we have a rule for this. Every inside bar is a supply or demand zone. So I will just mark this demand zone out. This will be our last demand zone, and price actually changed character here and broke to the last demand zone. So we will have a right supply zone. Actually, I can just mark out this zone as our supply zone, but I will just rather use the 5-minute refinement instead, because this is also a really huge zone. And this zone is also inside of the demand zone. So the next step is to refine all of these zones on the 5-minute chart. Okay, so let's refine all of the 15-minute zones on the 5-minute chart. And as you can see, price actually tapped this 15-minute zone already, so there's no point to refine that zone, because a huge recovery and huge reversal already happened on the 15-minute zone. So there will be no point to refine that 15-minute zone on the 5-minute chart, because as I said, reversal has been already happened. So, okay, let's start the refinements on the 5-minute chart. So this zone has been already mitigated, and this is the refinement of that zone, because the inefficient push came into the market from this candle, as you can see, and this was the last 15-minute supply zone that created the last 15-minute low here and the last break of structure. And this candle, as you can see, flipped that 15-minute supply zone. So this is a really strong zone. Okay, price mitigated this zone, and let's refine the next zone after this demand zone. And this is the next 15-minute demand zone after this zone, and the refinement will be really, really clear. As you can see, we have a crystal clear zone inside of this 15-minute zone, which is this one, because huge inefficient push came into the market from this candle. As you can see, inefficiency here, 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 and it broke structure to the upside. It slapped liquidity from this region, first, second, third tap. So it slapped liquidity, broke structure here to the upside. So did everything. This is a really clear zone again. This could be our later target point for the shorts. So if price comes back up to the supply zone, mitigates the supply zone, and creates a 1-minute change of character also, we will hop in a short trade and we will target this demand zone. There will be a huge room to enter in the trade, because the movement between this supply zone and this demand zone will be around 10 to 15 risk reward ratio, which is huge, which is really, really great. We do not trade for ego, right? We trade for profit, we trade for money, and 10%, 15% on a single trade in minutes is extremely good, right? We can all agree in this one. Okay, so let's just continue. Refine this 5-minute zone. And as you can see, here's the inside bar. Here's the 15-minute inside bar. And actually price changed character on this zone, because as you can see, price actually broke this last high point. This was the last high point, and the break of structure came into the market from this wick or this candle, because price broke the structure to the upside with inefficient push. Here's an inefficiency, as you can see, and it body broke above and tapped this last supply zone, the refined 4-hour supply zone. And after a tap of this 15-minute supply zone, price reversed and changed character immediately and broke through supply zone. I mean the demand zone, as you can see. So if a demand zone breaks, a supply zone will be opportunistically formed, as you may know. So I marked out on the 15-minute this supply zone as our character changing supply zone, but we can refine this on the 5-minute also. So this is our refinement. As you can see, it's crystal clear again, because inefficient push came into the market here, change of character came into the market here, liquidity sweep came into the market here, swept liquidity, broke demand, broke structure, changed character, created inefficiency. So all of these movements are started from this supply zone, this 5-minute supply zone refinement, right? Okay, so here's the plan. We are waiting for the tap of this supply zone on the 1-minute chart. And after price tap this 5-minute supply zone, we will wait for a 1-minute change of character. So the 1-minute structure will look like this. Price tap this supply zone, creates a change of character, and then the freshly created 1-minute supply zone, we will enter in the trade and we will target this 15-minute demand zone. This is the master plan here. It's really clear and simple, right? Let me just walk through this again. So we had a 4-hour supply, 4-hour demand zone. Price broke through this 4-hour demand zone with a 4-hour supply zone. Inside of that 4-hour supply zone, we had a 15-minute supply zone that created huge inefficient push to the downside and break of structure and demand break. After this, price created an upside movement,